This is the Big O Show. 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 This
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield Home Security System guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
viewpoint statements or beliefs. The viewpoints statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty. Welcome aboard, baby. We are live here at Caneswear, and we're inside, too. Yeah. First time in years that we've been broadcasting outside. First 3 years of, we haven't even completed our third year of it. We're in the beginning, we're in the middle of our third year of the podcast. Live show podcast, actually, because we're really not a podcast. We're a live show that gets podcasted. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of the way although we have kind of changed and we do have stuff that's just straight up podcasting. Actually, now we had no choice. We had to adjust. The same thing I've done in my entire career. Adjust. Something happens, pivot, baby, and adjust to it. And that's all you can do and find a way to overcome. That is our thing. So we are here at Caneswear. So come on out and join us. 2655. I gotta now. Every couple of years, they move to a bigger location. I've got to remember the new address now. So 2655 South University Drive in Davie. So come on, same mall. We're just, a little more south, in other words. Just like, I don't know, 15, 20 stores down. We're right, literally next to La Spada, which I know what what are you having for lunch? Because I know what I'm having for lunch. Damn Skippy, baby. I am going right next door to La Spada on the way out. Anyway, so a bunch of stuff to talk about. Obviously, the Dolphins made their cuts. Safid Dean is going to join us at 10:30. Safid, we're gonna obviously talk about everything that happened with the Dolphins yesterday, but at the same time, kind of welcome him officially on board because next week we have a slew of people joining our platform. Next week, Michelle Kaufman becomes a permanent fixture every week. She'll be here with us reporting. David Furones will be with us every week reporting. Safid Dean will be with us also. And by the way, Furones and Safid will be joining us on postgame too. So they will join us during the week. Safid will join us twice a week. Furones will join us once a week. Both Safid and Furones will join us in the postgame show. We're also who am I at? Who are we adding? Safid, Furones, Michelle, and Anthony Chang. And Anthony Chang will be starting next week also. So it's pretty cool. We are adding more people to the platform as we get into football season and we get back into basketball season. So Anthony Chang will be joining us. So we'll have Anthony Chang and Ira Winderman throughout the week giving you all the insight on what's going on with the Miami Heat. And hopefully the Lillard thing will start to heat up here in September. I would imagine by the end of September, as we're getting to training camp, that's when it really heats up and something should end up happening because I don't think they really want, Lillard back. And then that whole turmoil, and then they're just going to be asking him about this mess every single day. I think Portland's going to want to move on at that point. And so, the reality is you're going to have to trade him to Miami because there really isn't anywhere else to go. You know what I'm saying? There we go, Alarmo. Let's lift that arm of yours. Let's get you lifted. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. And show them the shield, baby. The shield. What do we got here on the chat board? I see Jamie Zoria is in the house. He's the first one, the chat board, out in San Jose, California, and he's number one. He is awesome. Steve Chapman is in. Giovanni, Jose Banos, Premier Reviewer, Lazaro Barrios, Noel Doubt, One-Eyed Jack, Gotti 4453, Steven Gonzalez, Isaiah, Roderick is in. Think Blue Dodgers, Mr. Torres, Jason G, Willie out in Colombia, Bromar, John Padilla, Chad, like it, Tim Eason. True Fin Fan says, once again, you were right about the Dolphins. This is why I listen to this show. The truth shall always be told. We just keep it real, man. You know, we just keep it real. And I just never, we try to explain to you that he doesn't overpay for running backs. All those people had told you, well, if the Dolphins will go to the first round, but they've got a second rounder. They don't have no second rounder on the table. They don't have no first rounder on the table. They had no real significant offer. Did they have a low-hanging fruit offer? Yeah. And by the way, Sean, who keeps telling them about low-hanging fruit offers? That's right. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. I still love you. Oh, I still love you. Only slightly less than I used to. My love. Nothing's changed. And we try to explain it to you, but I get it, dude. It keeps the fan base and the general fans on the edge of the seat if you say the Dolphins have interest. But you noticed how I deciphered all that bullshit by, can you explain the interest? Nobody ever explained the interest except yours truly. That sure, it's half-ass interest. It's not full-blown interest. And I'm trying to explain to you, look at Christian Wilkins, who has done everything possible, has been the perfect player, but he still doesn't produce the key category where he wants the money. And with all that going on, Chris Greer still looks at him in the face and in the eyes and says, Christian, we love you. We can't pay you that money because you don't bring the sacks. So if he's willing to do that to a guy that has already been playing on the team, you think he's just going to bend over backwards for a position that isn't important and all of a sudden overpay? And yes, I said that. A position that isn't important. Sorry. It's not a key position. Running backs don't win shit anymore. They're just part of the offense, and they help the offense. They're not the reason why you're winning anymore. They're just a cog in the offense. You win because of your quarterback, your offensive line, as always, from beginning of time till now, and wide receivers or tight ends, whatever they are. That's what makes you win. And your defense, of course, running game is so far down the totem pole. So a lot of you have not really adjusted to what football is nowadays. You're living in the past, and you still think that the bell cow is something normal. And the bell cow is now the abnormal piece in football. That's the non-common piece in football. It's just they don't need it anymore. They don't want it anymore because you're then required to pay one guy a lot of money who plays a contact position and gets injured a lot. So, and I try to explain to you guys what kind of GM Chris Greer is, and I gave you all the examples. Why? Because he gives you the examples. The writing was on the wall. You know what I mean? So a lot of you could be insiders better than some of the folks in the media because they actually can't read the person that they cover. But again, it sells papers. It gets page views and all that stuff on websites. And then on television, it's sexy to say the Dolphins are interested and leave it in that general gray area. So that way, hook, line, and sinker, I got you. You're now watching, you're now reading, you're now going online, all that. You're doing anything because they told you they're interested. And that's so misleading to the fans. And that's what we try to avoid on this show. We don't go for the hysteria and the sensationalism and be super negative or crazy ultra positive just so we can then get the clicks and the views. We're going to be boring. We're going to give it to you the way it's actually happening. And so if you just want the truth, it might excite you. It might piss you off. It might depress you. But we're not doing it because we need the clicks. We need the views. Oh, I got to chase them. You know, I get it, dude. We're not the most watched show. I'm not the biggest host in the world. And I'm fine with that. And my ego doesn't need to be massaged and any of that kind of stuff. I don't need any of that. You know, I'm super happy the way things are going, the way things have gone. You know why? Because I've always been true to myself. And that's all I give a shit about, to be quite honest. True to myself, not to the corporations I work for that try to manipulate what you try to say. This is the beauty of what we do now, that I don't even have to deal with those kind of politics like I used to have to fight all the time. So we're going to keep it boring. We're just going to tell you exactly how it is, and it might not be good. Look, I see, there are some people on the board here that have been, following our show for a long, long time, and look, I see Chad there. Chad's a guy that's been following the show forever. He knows. He knows when I'm ripping the team, it's because they suck, not because I'm trying to act like the hate guy so I can get you guys to watch me because you're pissed that I'm hating on the team. No, 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 no. I'm just telling you, I don't think they're going to be good. Just like now, when I think they're going to be freaking awesome, then I'm the homer guy. You know what I'm saying? So we just keep it the way it is. And we don't need to chase all that kind of stuff. It's just the way it is. And we told you the Taylor stuff was never, anybody that told you that there was ever a first or even a second rounder involved is completely misleading. Okay? They never had any kind of significant offer on the table. All right? So just let's leave it at that. Okay? That I can tell you for sure. They weren't going to give a significant offer and then pay the guy. That's not what that guy does. So, anyway, by the way, this is all the same thing as Jordan Poyer. Did we not walk him off the ledge on Jordan? That wasn't going to happen. He's not paying a safety and an older safety all that money. Saquon Barkley, same thing. When the rumors came out, I told you they're not going to trade for Saquon Barkley. Dalvin Cook, the same thing. And now Jonathan Taylor. This is all media driven. Some of it is agent driven, by the way, because the agents fill the media people with crap. And then the media people end up believing the agents. So then they start repeating what the agents tell them, even though the teams didn't. And then sometimes, just so you'll know, because I've been at this for a long time, sometimes the GMs will then mislead the media members by lying about the offers they got from somebody else just to try to up the market for the player they're trying to trade. So there's a lot of manipulation. There's a lot of misleading. There's a lot of lies flat out. And there's a lot of media members that end up falling for the lies, and then they end up reporting inaccurate stuff because they're being misled. And that's what happens a lot of times. Not with those fan sites or those people don't know anything about the team. They have no insight whatsoever. Okay? They will lie to you about it. They have zero insight. Okay? Zero. So it's just the way it is. Now, hey, listen, there are people out there, they're going to end up guessing things right, and guessing things wrong, right? Usually those people will be guessing wrong most of the time because they really have no insight. But usually when you're getting a lot of things right, we're not perfect, but we get a lot of things right. You can put one and one together. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. By the way, we told you about Peely, Brooks, and Julian Hill. Okay. 3 undrafted rookies that I thought I liked a lot. And by the time training camp and preseason was over, I told you Julian Hill was probably the best all-around tight end that they have. Smythe obviously is a much better blocker than him, but this kid is showing me something as a pass catcher. They ended up keeping him. The Brooks kid has looked absolutely terrific, brings a little power to the position, and they do have a couple of injuries. Plus, you know what I was thinking about? Let's talk a little bit about the running back position here and what could be developing and where this is kind of, when they keep 5 backs. And remember, by the way, who said to keep 5 backs? Yeah, I think I said keep 5 backs, including Chris Brooks and, of course, Ahmed, that some people were questioning, oh, this, that. Are you kidding me? That guy's been ready every time. Okay. So what happened last season with the running backs and the running game? Didn't the coach fail, right? Buffalo, Green Bay, certain games, he could have kept running the ball, and he did not, right? They averaged 4.5 yards a carry, the running backs. So it wasn't the running back's fault. The offensive line, as much as we complain about it, it actually did a pretty decent job last year. So let's think about this. By the end of the year in the offseason, did we not catch that the coach said, I apologize to Raheem Mostert? I didn't use the running game enough. I need to dedicate myself to the running game a little bit more. Whoa. So, first of all, we're all blown away that a coach would make a public admission like that he would apologize to the player and say, man, I screwed up. I should have used you more. I should have dedicated to the running game more. It would have been better for my offense, my quarterback, my O-line, everything. So guess what? Your running backs get banged up all the time, right? So if you plan on really dedicating yourself to the running game, maybe you keep an extra back this year. You know what I mean? You're already dealing with a couple of guys that are banged up. They all are going to end up. Maybe A-Chain is the only one that's kind of questionable for week 1, but the other guys will be fine. They'll play. But my point is, running backs take punishment. This is why you don't want a bell cow. This is why you don't want to put all your money in one guy, because when he goes down, it cripples everything. So you'd like to have a stable of good backs. If your offensive line is great or good and your quarterback's great or good, then your running game is going to be fine because you got the receivers, everything else in the passing game, and your running game can complement. You know what I'm saying? So this is why what's going on in the running game might be planned. It could be because of the injuries, because that's what I thought. Remember, I mentioned that yesterday. I'm like, with Cam, if you listen to the Cam segment that we recorded late in the afternoon, early evening that was posted, I go to Cam, wow. So my guy Chris Brooks, did he make it because of the injuries? And then, I'm thinking about it, I'm going overnight, I'm thinking about it, I'm going, maybe they kept the backs because they plan on using the backs more this season. So in anticipation, he said, yeah, we're going to have to keep an extra roster spot on a back. And then we'll have to use the back end of those guys in special teams somewhere. So I'm sure Brooks will end up helping out on special teams somewhere. You know what I'm saying? I just find it kind of interesting. That did you keep the back because of the injury, or is there going to be more dedication to the running game? And that's why you said, you know what? Let's keep an extra back to make sure we've always got a stable of backs that we can rotate in and out. And just in case we have an injury, we have the kind of depth that we can continue that rotation of backs and not overload one guy or two guys with the burden because one other guy is injured. We have a couple of other guys ready and we can keep them going you know? So really interesting. By the way, Myles Gaskin was picked up by the Vikings. So I would imagine Brian Flores, hey, you guys need a running back in there? Myles Gaskin, I can vouch for him. And there he is. He's in Minnesota. Good for him. He's a good player, good dude. I hated to see Myles Gaskin go, but I would have kept Chris Brooks over him. He just brings a little something different to it. So we hit on that. Um, the Albert Wilson Part 2 drama ended also this week as Robbie Chosen, which I really never understood this incredible love affair with him. I get the speed and all that, but I never really thought he would be the number 3. And then as training camp wore down in the preseason, I told you, I don't think he would make my roster because he's not a good football player. He's a one-dimensional wide receiver the way I was looking at him. And that's why Robbie Chosen is not here. You can't be on the back end of the receiving core and be one-dimensional. You're going to have to help out on special teams. And you're going to have to be, and I think on the back end, you can't be a specialty receiver also. Whereas River Craycraft can play on the outside, on the inside, catch the tough passes inside, help you out on special teams. Robbie doesn't do any of that stuff. And that's why I just wasn't I just didn't buy all this hype that certain media members were giving Robbie Chosen. Again, you can't freak out on people in shorts. And this has happened now a couple times with the media locally here the last couple of years. Same bullshit went on with Albert Wilson, and I laughed at that shit from the get-go, as you all know. And then this one, I could understand a little bit because the kid he can run on the outside. He does, but then as time went on, I noticed that that's all he does. And if he's in traffic having a fight for a ball, he's not very good. And to me, those are things that start becoming red flags. And I didn't see the kind of guy that's going to be a tough guy in the middle. I didn't see a guy that can shed tackles. I didn't see a guy that can play special teams. There's a lot of things. We used to talk about this with Duncan Robinson, right? My issue with Duncan Robinson was he's a shooter. And then that's it. Couldn't put the ball on the ground, couldn't pass, couldn't rebound, couldn't defend. Doesn't have a post game, can't create his own shot. And then guess what happened this year? All of a sudden, Duncan Robinson started to rebound more, started to actually play a little defense, not great defense or anything, but he kind of got in the way of people. He started assisting. He realized what we were talking about. Like, yo, dude, all you do is shoot. And yes, it's a need, but once they know that's all you can do and they can take that out or slow it down, then you need to have some versatility to your game. And that was my problem with Robbie Chosen. I saw a one-dimensional player that had no versatility to the game and didn't necessarily look like the kind of guy that was going to have the light go on and figure that stuff out. You know what I'm saying? So that was the other thing that I think he kind of lacked in football IQ. And so I'm not surprised that move was made overall. That's for sure. Let's see. Noel Doubt says, pre-YouTube in the days of radio, did you have the same level of contact with your listeners? Didn't find the show until YouTube, so I've always been this guy. Ask anybody. I've always been the guy that took the phone calls, even though the program director doesn't want you to take phone calls. I would take phone calls. I've always been the guy that you go out to remotes or whatever. It's always been me, dude. Always been me. So, by the way, the 305 Sports Babe. I'm going to be on her show tomorrow at 8 o'clock. We did Jason Sarni's show last week, and this week, Sports Babe 305 will be on her show. I know I got to talk to Dougley. I'm sure we'll start doing our thing, our weekly thing during the season here. So we'll start doing that. But yeah, I've always been the guy that how do you not socialize with the people that support you? It's the weirdest thing. Radio's a really weird business. A lot of the hosts don't want anything to do with you. They don't really want to socialize with you at all. They really don't want to take your phone calls. When it comes to sales, they really don't even get to know their sponsors. They just read a script. Um, a lot. I'm not telling you all of them are like that. Like Joe isn't like that. Like Rose is not like that. Rose is more like I am. He actually cares about his sponsors. He socializes with listeners and all that. So Rose is like that, but there's a lot of them that are not like that. Most of them are not like that. And so it's just one of those things, dude. Everybody's different, man. Everybody's different. But I've always been a social guy, so it doesn't affect me. Brooks is a bruiser though, could be good at the goal line. Yeah, I like him. I like him. The good thing is Chosen wasn't overpaid. Yeah. Well, not a lot of people are going to get overpaid on this team anymore. That's just not going to happen. You know. Craycraft is a better special teamer and has shown up in big moments for Miami. Smart move keeping him over Chosen. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Let's see. Sanu was the one last year, just couldn't give us anything we don't have already. Yeah, exactly. The only thing I like about Mohamed Sanu, he always looked really cool in practice because he had all these I don't know, it's like wrappings and wristbands and all kinds of stuff, and like he took the time to dress for practice, and he had this slick look. That's about it. It ended there. After that I go, okay, you look good, but there's zero substance there. He was on the all runway team. It's like, all right, dude, you're old. Yeah, you're done. You're going through the motions. Chad says I had to screen those calls. Would be live broadcast at Acura and other locations when he was on radio. Always interacted with the fans. That's right, Chad. You were behind the scenes a little bit. You know that. And they don't want you to take phone calls. They don't even take them anymore now. You know? What's that? Huh? Right, unless they run right, they can't yeah, right. They can't figure out what to, and there's 3 or 4 of them in the studio and they can't figure out what to talk about. Yeah, I know. It's really fantastic when I see that. Like I cruise by myself. Off season, regular season, it doesn't matter, bro. I can figure it out. Let's see. Big O is here because he does it his way, no BS with the man, and that's why I respect him and listen every day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see. Dumb question: is all your interviews now going to be on the Big O radio show, and live broadcast here? Some will be, and some will be off. So you gotta, like Safid Dean is coming on now. You know what I mean? There you go. So we'll have Matt Verderam at noon today. And then sometimes it'll be pre-recorded. Like yesterday, why we bring Cam on in the middle of the day at noon or 11 or something when there's still cuts going on and all that. So we waited till all the cuts were gone and everything was done, and we did the interview at 5:30 instead. And we did a nice lengthy, we went through all the cuts, the trades, Cam and I broke it all down. And so then it's better to do it that way because we service our listeners better that way. Because if I bring Cam on at noon, we're only rehashing stuff that we've already talked about, and there was nothing fresh. So I waited till late in the afternoon to record it and then put it out there fresh for you guys. That's the idea. See what I'm saying? Safid Dean, by the way, is ready to join us now. And Safid will start on the platform next week officially as Baptist Health of South Florida joins our platform. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend from USA Today, NFL, and Messi writer for USA Today, Mr. Soccer, Safid underscore Dean. How you doing, baby? You doing all right?
Big O, how are you, man? You should have told me you were in Canesville. I would have came up the street and did the show with you right there.
Oh, I didn't know that, man. I'm sorry. You live close to Canesware?
Yeah,
All
I'm
right,
right in
good.
Daisy.
Okay, good. Well, next time out next month when we're by here, I'll tell you and if it's your day, that we then you can come on by and if not, we'll make it your day and you can come on by and join us, man. Let's go over and by the way, next Safid's going to be on with us 3 times a week, by the way. Twice a week, obviously with the Dolphin reports and then post game. So we'll have them fresh out of the locker room, fresh after the game, all that kind of stuff, giving us the insight on what's going on with the Miami Dolphins. So that'll be a lot of fun, and we thank our friends at Baptist Health of South Florida for making it happen. Safid, first of all, let's go with the Jonathan Taylor stuff. I'm the one that I never really thought this was going to happen because Chris Greer just doesn't overpay, dude, for running backs. I just don't see that, dude. So you tell me what'd you think of the non-deal?
The non-deal. You're right. Look, I think the only person this hurts in the end is Jonathan Taylor. It doesn't hurt
Yeah.
the Dolphins because they were ready to go in with the running backs that they decided to have on their roster. Chris Brooks beating out Myles Gaskin, a move I actually like. And the Colts were prepared to play without Jonathan Taylor regardless. So even if he stays on the PUP and misses the first 4 games, or he ends up getting traded by the deadline in October, the Colts are ready to play without him. The Dolphins are ready to play without him. The only person here in the wrong is Jonathan Taylor, who wants a new deal.
Well,
Like
hold on. They screwed Anthony Richardson. You got a young
I agree.
quarterback, bro. You guys are idiots, dude. You're morons. You got to have Jonathan Taylor on the field for that young quarterback and help him, dude. You got to rise above this, and you got to do what's best. You already screwed up with Andrew Luck for years. You allowed that man to take a beating to a point where he said, "Enough. I'm out of here. I'm done." And so you're doing it all over again. You're doing stupid things for a young quarterback, bro. And I commend San Francisco because they said, okay, let's go get the running back because we're not paying quarterbacks. So let's go pay this running back. Let's surround this young guy and make his life as easy as possible. To me, if you're going to bring a young quarterback into a league right away like that, dude, please you know, coddle the guy, protect him, make his life easy until the light goes on that he can figure everything out and decipher what these defenses are trying to do. So you're right. JT gets screwed here, but I got to tell you, they screwed Anthony Richardson big time. Big time.
Yeah, and Jim Irsay shot himself in the foot here as soon as he, went to bat with Jonathan Taylor's agent
Right.
on Twitter and social media. Not only did you say to everybody in the league, you're not paying your running back who led the league in rushing in 2021, excuse me, you literally just dropped the trade value of your own player you're trying to trade away, essentially, when you gave him the opportunity to be traded, right?
Yeah.
To want a first round pick for a second round pick, too much, especially when somebody has to pay Jonathan Taylor. And look,
Exactly.
Christian McCaffrey is making 15, 16 mil. He's the highest paid running back. Everybody else after that is barely 13. A bunch of $8 and $10 million players too. Jonathan Taylor is going to get, pretty close to 15, or he should. And now, everything that Jim Irsay is doing right now is just hurting Jonathan Taylor's pockets. He's not on the field right now. How can you give this guy 15 mil if you don't know what he's going to have, especially coming off injury last year? So maybe all the prices getting lower and lower by the day. Hopefully by October, the trade deadline, we'll see Jonathan Taylor moved. I mean, for all we know, he could be moved today. He could be moved anytime in the next couple of weeks. But I don't see Chris Kerr coming above any kind of crazy asking price. And
No.
I think Jim
I
Irsay is going
said
to have
this,
to eat
dude.
this one.
Even if you wanted a second rounder from Chris Greer, he's going to go, well, okay, you want the second rounder? Well, you're going to have to take Emmanuel Ogba off my hands because I'm not paying Jonathan Taylor, and then I got to pay Ogba too, and you need a defensive end. So here you go. You want the second rounder? Go ahead. But he's not going to give up a second rounder for Jonathan Taylor. I think he'll go as far as a third or something like that. But I don't think he would even go to second. And if there's a second, there's going to be a big stipulation that comes with it. And that's probably where the Colts don't want to go. They don't want to take back the salary. And that's why I don't believe Miami would even allow even a second. Bro, they got Jalen Ramsey for a third.
Yeah.
Christian Wilkins has been the perfect human being, the perfect citizen in your city and your team, and has been a fantastic player. And you still looked him in the eye and said, nope, we're not giving you the money. This is a ruthless dude, bro. You gotta. I don't think people understand that this guy's a hell of a negotiator. This team is just not. No, sorry, Christian, you didn't bring up the sacks. We can't give you that kind of money if you don't have the sacks. And you think they're just going to bend over backwards? No, dude, that's not the way they roll in that organization.
Two things I want to say. If there's any stipulation on paying a higher pick, like say Chris Greer gives a second round pick for Jonathan Taylor, the stipulation is not for Indy, it's for Miami. They better win the Super Bowl if he's going to pay that.
Right.
The Dolphins need to win a playoff game, Big O. We can celebrate them reaching the playoffs last year all we want. So the third time they did it in 22 years, 23 years?
Yeah.
These guys are 9-8 the last 2 years.
Yeah, but 9-8 last year was only because of the injuries, not because in other years it's incompetence, it's not good enough coaching or players or quarterback. In this case, last year, I'm sorry, this is the 1 year where I would say it was injuries, bro. If they need breaks, bro. You can't lose your entire secondary and your quarterback. It just crippled the hell out of that team.
Even the games that they had the quarterback. Two of them messed up in LA, couldn't play in San Francisco. Those 2 games you can't get back.
Nope.
And in regards to paying Christian Wilkins too, there's a message to be sent to Jalen Waddle, Tua Tagovailoa, first of all, Javon Holland, Jalen Phillips, the guys coming up after Christian Wilkins who you're going to have to pay. This is a message to all of them. Look, 9-8 is not enough. We played Buffalo 3 times last year. You can only beat them once. It's not enough. The team has to win a playoff game. And if you win 2, everybody's going to get paid. But I can understand why you pay Zach Sealer, but I understand why you don't give Christian Wilkins his money right now. And if Christian Wilkins balls out against the Bills this year, you give me 2 wins against the Bills, you probably get a contract extension before the playoffs start.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. If the sack numbers go up, which by the way, I'm predicting that his sack numbers are going to go up only because of Fangio, because I think the ends will do their job. And if you have a healthy secondary, which you didn't last year, it killed your pass rush. So all of a sudden now, if your secondary is pretty much healthy, I know you'll get Ramsey back, but with those young guys, with Kohu and I think Cam Smith will be fine. I think he'll adjust. But if your secondary is fine, I think all of a sudden your ends start getting the rush and they start getting the quarterback. I think it starts opening it up for Wilkins. I think his sack totals go up this year because of the scheme he's in and because people around him are actually healthy now.
I think one person that I want to see take the next step here, and I think the defense is really all around him more so than Christian Wilkins, it's got to be Bradley Chubb, Big O.
Yes.
You pay big money for this guy, and he's flopping on, tackles in the backfield last year because he's not playing in his scheme. Anybody on this team, Bradley Chubb has the least amount of excuses. This is his defense.
That's right.
Fangio's defense is the one that he played with in Denver. It's the one that got him all the stats that we all, boasted about when the trade happened and he joined the Dolphins. For me, Bradley Chubb has to have a standout year. And he's
the guy that's not making a transition.
Yeah, he has to be the one to
Yeah,
really take the next step in his game here in
sure.
Miami to make the trade worth it, to make the money worth it. It's his defense. I think he has the least amount of excuses out of anybody here. You want to see Jalen Phillips get after the football too, not drop back as much. I want to see Agba and Andrew Van Ginkel also as well. We'll see what they do with the D tackle depth. And I think the best part about the knowing about this Dolphins team right now is that all those guys in the secondary, they're not, instead of a season where guys get hurt and you have attrition, these guys are going to be coming back at certain times later on in this
Right,
year. And that
right.
is going to help Miami a lot.
Big time. I'm with you there because Needham will get healthy and get back, and then obviously you'll get the monster in Jalen Ramsey back, and that'll be good. I don't know how long it'll be for Elijah Campbell. It seems like it's going to be a while for Elijah Campbell, but
Mhm.
and what a shame because I thought he won the job. Did you think he won the job?
Um, I think he won the job because nobody else was really taking the job. He took the job. I think that's really what it was. And I think because of the fact that he went down, that's why the Dolphins made this trade for Kelvin Joseph, ending this Noah Igbenogany saga. I feel bad for Noah Igbenogany. He was put in a really bad spot here by the Dolphins. 20 years old, drafted with a first round pick. He was the youngest player taken in that 2020 draft when he was drafted.
Mhm.
Austin Jackson wasn't too far behind him in the age factor as well. But Dolphins had Tua, Austin Jackson, and Noah Igbenogany. A trade full of potential versus a draft full of potential, excuse me, versus a draft where you kind of really knew who you had in any of these guys. Both those guys were projects and they needed to make a little bit of a bigger impact. I'm not sure how this trade works out for both Dallas and Miami. Kelvin Joseph, I was reading up a little bit on him. It seems like, second round pick 2021. It feels like Dallas gave up on him just like how Miami essentially gave up on Noah Igbenogany. And now
Yeah.
both sides are going to try to make it happen, where they they learn each other and see if they can deal with each other now. But
Well, no,
Kelvin
but I
Joseph
think
plays inside, and I think that's the
I think
biggest
there's a
part.
difference here too. I think there's a difference. I don't think they're counting on Joseph so much as a corner. I think they basically traded for a flyer, for a gunner, whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. A
That
special teams guy that could probably play some
Yeah,
nickel
that's
if
what
you
I
need him
think. I
to.
think the Noah thing is already a failure. They're just like, "Hey, you know what? We got a couple of gunners that got injured on us now. We need to replace one of them. We're short on gunners right now, flyers, whatever the hell you wanna call them. Here's a kid that's available. Let's go move Noah. We don't need him. We save 800,000 in the cap. Let's get an extra flyer in there." I think that's what really it was more about than anything else. Let's shore up special teams. We can do it with Noah, which we don't need. I
I
think
think
that's kind of what it was.
I think you save on the 5th year option for Noah as well too.
Yeah, yeah, 800,000.
Yeah.
You save
Okay.
nearly $1,000,000. So it was really all a really smart move. We were talking about that yesterday with Cam, that it's just really good cap management by Chris, getting an impossible situation and making something out of it by getting a flyer. And I get that because you just lost Elijah Campbell, you just lost, who's the other guy that's injured now that I'm forgetting
David Davis, special
no,
teams
it's
guy.
he
No,
wouldn't have made it. Somebody else that would have made the team. That was a gunner that is banged up.
you're missing me too
Is it
here.
one of the running backs? Is Brooks one?
I don't think Brooks is a
No, not
a
Brooks.
gunner anymore.
Not Brooks. Yeah, A-Chain. A-Chain, they used him a little bit.
Hmm.
So you used A-Chain a little bit on the Flyer side, and so he's banged up. So you kind of that's what I'm reading. I mean, I don't know. That's kind of the way I looked at it. Going back to the Wilkins situation, I mean, God, he's so amazing the way he's handled everything. He really is a true pro. It seems like there's not going to be a repercussion from all of this. It's not like like Connor Williams. It looks like he's got his mind on his money on his mind, and he's not really concentrating at times. I don't see that from Wilkins. But what do you think happens from this stalemate?
Well, Christian Wilkins has to put his future money where his mouth is, pretty much. He said nobody wants to be a Dolphin more than him.
Yeah,
He's got to go out there and prove it. Look, Christian Wilkins plays with a lot of juice. It's amazing to see. A lot of the media guys, obviously watch practice together, and Christian Wilkins is getting in the backfield and talking shit to everybody. It's a sight to see. It's amazing. It's just like when you watch a Buffalo game and he's pissing off Josh Allen. As a Dolphins fan, there's nothing more exciting. And I think that Christian has to go help produce. He has to produce. He had one great season. Good for him, career year. I mean, go have another one. Go have 2 years in a row. Um, that's kind of where I think the Dolphins kind of stand on this. I appreciate that Christian Wilkins is up for an extension. Yes, I appreciate that the fact that some other players have gotten paid that have maybe done what Wilkins feels like is equal or maybe even less to what he's done in the last year or so. Um, but kudos to Chris Greer, because everybody has eyes on this one here. Christian Wilkins was the first player he drafted in 2019, the first player to start this rebuild around. They saw everything that Christian Wilkins did at Clemson when they won 2 national titles there, and saw that leadership and saw what he does to galvanize teams around him. And Wilkins has done the same thing here in Miami. He's become the leader on this defense. Guys like Xavier Howard, Jerome Baker, all those D linemen, D tackles, they all follow him. The corners follow him. They love when he's talking smack and doing the same thing too. So everybody knows, everybody had all eyes on Christian to see if he would get paid. And all the other guys behind him that are going to get paid next are like, okay, Christian didn't get paid. That means we all have to work harder. So I think it's a good message you send to everybody when they finally realize, all right, we got to work a little bit harder for this money that we're asking for. But if we deliver like we should deliver, which is not just one, but I'm hoping for 2 playoff wins, all right, then we can let some money fly.
Yeah, I think if he's able to turn it up and get some sacks, I think he'll somehow get the contract talks going, and they can still tag him and control him. So his agent and him aren't going to get crazy about this. They'll talk and they'll settle down. Let me ask you something. When Chris Greer officially took over and got rid of all these idiots, one of the things he talked about was the dysfunction is over. Seems like you see, as the Chris Greer era continues, the dysfunction is over, isn't it?
Dysfunction as in what? You're not cutting guys and having a lot of dead money left?
Oh, no, not just that. It's just
And
the bickering
uh-huh.
that we've seen in the past, the Joe Philbin mess or the Jeff Ireland, the Donna Ponte battle,
Sure.
going in the middle of the night to, go get Harbaugh or whatever, just things that used to happen on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem under Chris Greer. We're not talking about some of the goofiness of the owner and all that, but like football operations overall under Chris Greer, there doesn't seem to be like a dysfunction, right?
Well, the Dolphins had too many hands in the cookie jar before, right? You
Yes, sir.
had when I
You're right.
started covering this team, it was Adam Gase, Mike Tannenbaum, and Chris Greer. And Chris Greer, I remember one practice vividly, Big O, in the Nova facility indoors. The 2 guys are just talking, 2 guys meaning Adam Gase and Tannenbaum. They're just talking back and forth, and Chris Greer is just like, "Are you guys done yet?" Like that was my first impression of what Chris Greer was doing, and it sucks when you have to answer to somebody else or
And by the way, the owner's the 4th guy in the mix. He might not
yeah.
have been in that move, but he's
Mhm.
somewhere else throwing 2 cents in there. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, throwing 2 million, couple million, more than 2 cents, right? But look, I think there was too many hands in the cookie jar, and that's never good for business. Chris Greer became the outright leader of football operations, and he has Brandon Shore and some other guys as his, top lieutenants. Marvin Allen being one of them, which was a great person to have for him. It helps when you're not arguing with somebody in the room about decisions that have to be made.
Mhm.
Sometimes you might get out. Maybe you might be 2-1 on a move that maybe really works out for you, or maybe a move that should have happened doesn't happen because of the fact that you don't really have autonomy in the room. So I think yes, that has helped. I think Chris Grant and Brian Flores were on the same page on a lot of things, and the team did really well considering they were above 500 with Flores the last 2 years. But also, I think they're a lot more aligned with Mike now too. And I think when you there's something to be said in the NFL. Like there's Robert Saleh getting Aaron Rodgers. I want a defensive coach to be with a veteran QB versus offensive coach to be with a rookie QB, just to help each other along in that franchise. I don't think we're going to see any more days of, a defensive coach like Brian Flores getting a rookie quarterback and trying to take him the way, unless that offensive coordinator is really, really good. I'd rather just have the offensive coordinator be the coach of my team. But I think when you have all those things aligned, and now Steve Ross is in line with paying guys like Tyreek Hill, paying guys like Bradley Chubb, paying guys like Jalen Ramsey, because you don't want to be 9-8 anymore. You actually want to win a playoff game. I think everybody's a lot more aligned, now more than ever.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Okay, so when they announced the cuts and the 53, one of the guys that I had making it was Chris Brooks. And when he makes it, one of the things I told what's it called, Cam, yesterday when we were talking after everything was done, I said, did they keep him because of injury? And they're just waiting for everybody to get healthy and then they go back to 4 again, or what? And we really don't know. But then I started to think about it overnight. So let me see if my brain is running a little too much here. So we're talking about the coach that realized that he screwed up in the Buffalo and the Green Bay game. There was another game too where he abandoned the run, and he was pounding the crap out of these teams with the run, 7-9 yards a carry, abandon it. And to his credit, he realized it, apologized to even Mostert, mentioned it to us that he did not dedicate himself enough to the run. So we watched the 200-yard performance 2 weeks ago, which is why I think they were very vanilla this week. I think that was their week 2 weeks ago, and then they said, we're done, we're enough. And so, but we saw that heavy dedication in the running game. And so now you keep Chris Brooks because he brings a little more oomph than some of these other guys, a little different guy. So you keep 5 now. Could it be that you kept 5 because of the injuries and you're waiting for A-Chain and everybody to get back and then you'll release Chris Brooks? Or could it be what I'm thinking, that this coach is saying, no. Running backs get injured. We're going to dedicate ourselves to the run. We're going to run more. I'm expecting maybe a couple guys to get banged up. Let me keep an extra back this year than I did last year. Which one is it, Safid Dean of USA Today?
I think it's the latter one, Big O. And look, Mike McDaniel is a running back coach. A lot of these coaches are always going to go back to their, to what they know best.
Their heart and
And
soul.
before that, he was a receivers coach, but he's run game. He's run game coordinator. I like Chris Brooks a lot, man. That was
Me
one
too.
practice where we're sitting on the balcony in the indoor practice, and the field is right here towards us. They're doing a red zone drill, and Chris Brooks gets a handoff, and helmets are hitting, pads are smacking. It's like what you want to see when you see a running back get the football. Go get the touchdown when we're this close to the red zone. So they flip the play.
Right.
They flip the offense, and somebody hands off the ball to Chris Brooks, and he's gone 99 yards for a touchdown. Maybe 91, all right? Nobody was catching him. Tua ran all the way from one pylon to probably about the 30-yard line so he could celebrate with the kid and then cheers with the kid as he's coming out the end zone. I thought that was a big moment for Dolphins this whole preseason. That happened probably a couple weeks ago. But you got a bruiser in Chris Brooks, man, and Raheem Mostert. Finesse runner, looks really beautiful.
Although
when he runs,
last
and
year
gets
there
a
were
lot of years.
moments where
And he was
Mostert,
hitting.
yeah,
He was hitting.
dude.
He's not a soft guy. He's not a soft guy. Let's get that right
Yeah.
here. He's not a soft guy, but I'd rather him outside than in between the tackles.
Yes.
Jeff Wilson, I'd rather have him between the tackles, and he does really well in spurts. Savon Ahmed outplayed Myles Gaskin this preseason. We've seen in the preseason games. And Chris Brooks was the bruiser that needed to have. Who would you rather have? Myles Gaskin, who's a little bit smaller, or Chris Brooks, who's 6 foot, 230, ready to smack some dudes every time he touches the ball?
No, I'm a Chris Brooks guy. It's a different running back. You need it in
Yeah.
your in your group. And by the way, if something happens to the fullback, not that Chris Brooks is a fullback, but in a pinch in the middle of a game, hey Chris, we need you to fill in at fullback a little bit. He's the only guy that probably could do it on that team right now. And you're not really going to cover, you cut Lovett, so it's not like you're really going to carry a second fullback. So Brooks might be able to be a little emergency fullback for you for a couple quarters.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Brooks run behind Engold. That's going to be a sight to see.
Yeah.
And even A-Chain when he gets back too. But I like 5 running backs. Look, everything about Tua is play action. You have to be able to sell the fake so Tyreek and Jalen Waddle can get past the cornerback if he takes the bait. And that's essentially what you need on offense. That's why the Dolphins have been going after or looking into all these running backs, is because you got a running back that the D coordinator and the defense is to worry about. It opens everything up for Tua. Tua had Josh Jacobs, and he had, who was that other running back that he had at Alabama that set the tone for him? Some other first-round picks, right?
Yeah,
And that's what you need.
Yeah,
I'm blanking on it too, but
I know.
Tua needs a good running back behind him so that it puts fear in the defense, so that they know this guy can run the ball. Takes a lot of pressure off of Tua. Just like you were talking about Anthony Richardson, it takes a lot of pressure off of Tua when the run game is there. The thing next is I like to see from Mike is when it's first down, are you running the ball because you know you should, or are you passing it because you feel like everybody's expecting the run? And if you stop playing around there, and if you win 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, you're going to win a lot more games. You're going to keep the ball a lot longer, and you're going to keep your defense off the field as well.
All right, we'll wrap it up with this. We'll put you on the spot. Austin Jackson had a pretty solid camp. Did he turn the corner? Yay or nay?
Nay for me right now. I want to see him turn the corner during the season. I don't want to see it in the preseason. I need to see it happen against real competition. There were some times where the second stringer was getting reps behind or ahead of Austin Jackson during preseason here.
By the way, I thought it was a good move to keep Keon Smith.
I'm sure
he flashed, dude. At times, people didn't. I talked about him a couple times. I didn't go to all the practices like you because I can't. But at some of the practices I was at, I was like, "Yo, who the hell is this guy?" Like he would have a couple of reps, like, "Yo, that was really nice," and sometimes one-on-ones, and I was like, this looks like an interesting project. You know what I mean? The Ukabuchi guy or whatever, I wasn't that impressed with him. But the Keon Smith guy, I thought there was a little something there. I don't know if you saw the same thing.
I don't know if I saw the same thing either. All I know is I know Brandon Shell did really well for them last year, and I was worried about why they didn't re-sign him even for $1 million. And then we saw during training camp that he retired with the Bills. So the Dolphins either already knew that or
I heard that people were afraid that his body wouldn't hold up.
All right, so
that's what I reported on the show months ago, and exactly what happened. His body didn't hold up,
which is really sad because the kid almost played, all the season at right tackle, and they had a really good O-line last year with him at right tackle.
Yeah.
Hopefully you find a guy there. Hopefully Austin Jackson is the guy. Hopefully Armstead comes back real soon. I'm not sure if Waddle and Armstead come back week 1. I know Waddle wants to. I know they both want to. Big O, I would keep those guys out if it means I'm playing in January, February. If I can just, have one more week to rest them. But
I got a curve for you. I got a curve for you. I mean, this is going to be a fork ball I'm throwing at your ass. Waddle better be ready because the NFL has not said anything about Tyreek. And I have said from the get-go, I would not be surprised Tyreek gets one game. Not because of the smack, but because of the anger shown both times after the smack, that the friend had to hold him back and that the 6 other people had to hold him back. And because of the prior stuff, I could see the NFL giving him one game. They're going to have to make a ruling by Friday at 5:00 because you can't do it on Monday or Tuesday and tell the Dolphins that you don't have Tyreek. So by Friday at 5:00, we got to know from the NFL if they're going to suspend Tyreek, or do nothing whatsoever. So if Waddle is not ready for week 1, Tyreek could be suspended for week 1. Correct?
Yeah, in theory, correct. In theory, correct. I don't think Tyreek gets suspended though. I think Tyreek could get a fine. Sure, everything is against Tyreek too, but I think Tyreek has done a lot of things to, make some changes for himself. Obviously this was not as bad as other things that could have happened, not just to him, but any other player in the league. And then some other things have happened where players have been participating in some things and have not got disciplined as well. So I don't think Tyreek is suspended. I think he might have got away with this one with just a settlement and what happened there. But I will be keeping a notice on it, just like you are, Big O, because it's definitely worth worrying about for the next couple of days.
Yeah. What do you got going on in USA Today so Dolphin fans can check you out, my friend?
Definitely. The brand new It's a Football podcast has returned. We got our Week 0 episode, myself and Tyler Dragon. So check that out. It's on my Twitter. Yeah, Tyler Dragon's a great dude. He loves the Dolphins. Just kidding. He's a Chargers fan.
Yeah.
But we go back and forth all the time talking about all things NFL, not just Dolphins. If you guys are looking for a little bit more of a national perspective, come through and check us out. Big O, I'll be here with you. I'll be at the Messi game tonight, Inter Miami versus Nashville.
And he starts too, bro.
Messi's supposed to start.
Bro, are you surprised that there's no diva in that guy?
There's no
seriously. Like most of these kind of superstars come over. Like Higuain came over and said, "Oh, I thought I could smoke cigarettes and hang out in the drive-through and score goals." And he got a smack in the face. And this dude's a gym rat, like a superstar gym rat. Like when he played the 130 minutes the other night, I was floored, bro. Floored.
There's nothing Leo Messi loves more than being on that pitch. That's something that I've learned watching 8 games, right? 8 games so far of him playing.
Yes, yes, sir.
He doesn't love anything more than soccer besides family, right?
Probably.
He doesn't care about any of the outside stuff. He doesn't care about, well, I think he cares about the money, but once that's settled, I don't think he cares about anything else. He just wants to play. This is fun for him. This is what he does. And he loves bringing those other guys around him. I'm not a soccer enthusiastic by any stretch. I will watch World Cup. I'm getting into soccer so much more because of Messi and Inter Miami and the crazy things that they're doing together. It's really cool to see. It's really cool to kind of be a part of if you're living here in South Florida. I know the tickets are expensive, guys, but if you guys get a chance to go and can go and can watch them in person, I would get that. That's like a bucket list life sports item for me.
There you go. Follow him on Twitter at Safid_Dean. And get ready, baby. You're going to get tons of Safid on the platform. Thanks to our friends at Baptist Health of South Florida, 3 times a week, twice during the week, and once during the post-game show. Safid, thank you for taking some time, my friend. Appreciate you immensely.
Appreciate you, Big O. See you soon.
Thank you, sir. Have a great weekend. There you go, the great Safid Dean. 1 hour down. Well, wait a minute. What happened? What happened?
The mystery team in the Jonathan Taylor has been identified by Stephen Holder.
Wait a minute. By Stephen Holder?
Yep, Stephen Holder.
Let me guess. Seattle Seahawks.
Nope.
Okay.
I don't know that you're ever going to guess. I'll give you 3 guesses. Seattle's 1.
Okay. Tennessee Titans.
Nope.
See if they plan post-Henry. Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Nope. The Green Bay Packers.
Wow, post Aaron Jones. Holy shit. They made the guy take a $7 million cut, and then they're going to cut his ass after. Wow. I mean, it is ruthless with running backs, bro. Ruthless. And they were probably also going for low-hanging fruit type deal. Like, yeah, no, we'll give you a 3rd rounder. Oh, man. It's a rough life for a running back right now. All right, 1 hour down from Caneswear, baby. Come on out and join us. 2655 South University Drive in Davie. Yes, sir. John Rouse is in the house. He just got, let me see, you bought that cap right now? But the new, so you got to find, but they have old logo hats here too. So they got old logo hats. Anyway, out here at Caneswear, baby. Hour number 2 is next.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Miles an hour, that's a Category 4 hurricane. 3 deaths are reported in Florida after more than 24 were killed in the Caribbean. This
Hialeah Park Casino is turning 10, and we're bringing you an anniversary bash like never before. See a million, win a million. Join us every Saturday in August, where 10 lucky customers will have a chance to take home $1 million. Snap a selfie with $1 million in cash, post it on social media, and get ready to win even more fantastic prizes. Come to Hialeah Park Casino's 10th anniversary celebration and make history with us. When you see a million, win a million.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house!
Get out of the house! Call 1-800-ALARM-NE.
With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com. The viewpoints, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
So it's hour number 2 of the program. And what I love about being inside now, I can do different things now. I can walk around. See, because you can go to caneswear.com, right? And you can order over $99. You will get free shipping. And see, you see all these Inter Miami jerseys we have behind here. You can get Messi shirts. You got Inter Miami gear all over the place. You know, I always tell you that Caneswear has practically everything with the Canes logo on it, right? So see, we go all over the place. Check it out. Cane shirts. You see what I'm saying? Look at all the Cane stickers we got going on. I mean, this is ridiculous. Look at these glasses, dude. You know what I'm saying? See? Oop, almost, I'm going to break them too at the same time. So look at it. Different kinds of glasses, different kinds of shades that you can order. I mean, they got everything, man. Stickers all over the place. Got license tags everywhere right there. See? There's Jeff back there. We don't sell Jeff, by the way. Brett wants to keep Jeff. So Jeff is not being, we can't sell you Jeff. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, anything and everything with the Canes logo on it, man. I'm telling you. You need a cup. See what I'm saying? It's just amazing. You need some what's it called? Ibises. See? For the bar. It's a beautiful thing. And then, one of the things I like about, they got all these helmets and hats here at Caneswear. Remember, over $99, you will get free shipping. But check out all the hats. I mean, there's hats all over the place, but you got all the Marlins hats. There you go. See, there's all the Marlins hats, Heat hats, all kinds of different colors, Dolphins hats. You see it there with the old logo, which, for me, that's kind of like a priority, by the way. So I've got to have the old logos. You know what I'm saying? You got some Heat stuff, some bobbleheads. See what I'm saying? Here you go. Tyreek Hill bobblehead. You got a Waddle bobblehead. You got a it's a Tyler Hero bobblehead. Look at that. That's a collector's item pretty soon. The man, the myth, the legend that is Tua Tagovailoa. So you see, when you come out here to Caneswear, it's a really dangerous place because there's so much stuff. Okay? There's just amazing stuff. There you go. More hats. I mean, everywhere you go, there's more Canes hats here. See? It's the selection is second to none. See, you want to hang out with kind of Hawaiian type shirts, Canes style. All these jerseys right here. Look at that. See? Little jersey action. You want Messi shirts? You want Messi? Things are going to get messy for Nashville tonight. Right there. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Little bathrobe. Dolphin style. You want a Tua jersey over there. You see what I'm saying? So anything and everything. You tailgating. Are you tailgating? Look at this. Look at this. All kinds of tents and chairs and everything. Sandals. All kinds of Canes sandals. It's ridiculous. And I still haven't gone through everything. You got a bar at home? You're a big Canes fan? You got a bar at home? Check this out. This is beautiful. Look up there. See that? You can buy that and add it to your bars. That's badass. So there you go. All right? Caneswear, baby. And Caneswear.com if you can't make it out here. All right, let's see. Now I'm going to the other camera. We're back. We're live. We're live. We're all the way live. Don't even have to walk. Don't even have to talk. Just slide, slippity slide. And forget about your troubles in your 9 to 5. Just sail on. That's what you do. Just sail on. Yes, sir.
Barry Jackson.
I've heard of him.
As Stephen Holder reported, Packers were the mystery bidder.
Hold this.
And then he said, can confirm through Dolphins person, as reported by Indy Media, the Colts made wild requests from Miami, including Waddle and more. You can go into the more, but because there were other people that were saying that media was saying Waddle was included, and I didn't see it from anybody that I could trust to finally It came out from Barry, so then I
I
brought it
can
out.
see them asking for crazy stuff. I knew that this guy Irsay was just effing with the agent and the player. I mean, it's just I've been at this way too long, dude. Way too long to not be able to read through most of the bull crap that goes on in this league, and what that guy was doing. So,
And then also Kremoski and Calendar have been called up to the U.S. men's national team for the September camp for friendlies against Uzbekistan and Oman.
I know, but I have a problem with that because that gets in the way of our playoff push, bro. I don't want to lose Calendar. What the F, bro? Yeah, no, bro. We're trying to make the playoffs, bitch. You take away Calendar? That's the second most important person on the damn team. His Calendar. Yeah, Messi might be doing a little some, but it's like a really short stint, like some appearance or something like that, something in Barcelona. But I don't think it's like a tournament or
We're gonna have the
anything
Inter
like
Miami CF2 team out there.
Yeah, dude. Jesus. There you go. Oh, Safid joined in on the comments on the board there. Thank you. Safid, always great, man. Let's see. Was it his birthday or not? You know, I forgot to ask him. I wasn't sure. I checked his Twitter and there was no birthday mention in it. So I didn't think it was his birthday. So I wasn't sure, so I didn't ask. Kind of stayed away from it. What else? Guess the Packers want to keep that first round pick when Jordan Love implodes this season. Do they have all sizes? What? Oh, you talk about shirts? Yeah, dude. They carry, yes. They carry big shirts, small shirts for women. Yes, they carry everything. Yes.
There's even one for damn.
Oh man. Do they have Dame jerseys? Not yet. Not yet. I don't think you can have a Dame jersey yet until it actually happens. Unless you could go, custom make it yourself then.
Well, that's what I was going to say, because you saw all the stuff that's happening with the Taylor stuff, right, Jonathan Taylor?
Oh, yeah.
People are going on the site and they wouldn't let you make a Dolphins 28 Taylor. And so they're like, oh, done deal.
Right, it's a done deal. Irsay now gets nothing for 4 games. It's, dude, what they did to Anthony Richardson is a crime. Okay? And let me tell you something. I'll tell you what the Colts should do if they actually gave a crap about their quarterback, if they gave a crap about their franchise, if they actually really wanted to do what's best for the fans and the team. Okay? You know what you do? You go out and get the best running back available in free agency. That's what you do. He's had 4 different offers. He's turned them all down. He backed up Chubb for the last couple of years, played for the Kansas City Chiefs. Do you know who I'm talking about? Huh? Backed up Chubb. Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt's available. You know what I'm saying? You're missing the guy for a month. You may trade him by the deadline. If you really gave a crap about your franchise, you drafted Anthony Richardson. Now you don't have a running back that, because Jonathan Taylor's out, how do you not go get Kareem Hunt? Right? You got the money, dude. You're way under the cap. You know what I'm saying? Jim Irsay's a clown. That's all. You're a clown. You draft Andrew Luck and you allow him to take such a beating that he says, enough's enough, I'm retiring. Now you draft Anthony Richardson and you don't have Jonathan Taylor available to the young man for 4 weeks. So now Anthony Richardson has to go out there and take every snap and feel the pressure of the world on him because he doesn't have number 28 to hand it off to him to keep the defense honest. That's an irresponsible franchise not helping their young quarterback develop. That's disgraceful, dude. It's the same franchise that refused to build the wall of Montezuma in front of Andrew Luck until he said injury, pain, rehab. Injury, pain, rehab. Injury, pain, rehab. And he retired. Look how cool these footballs are. I just, see? Jeff doesn't have great hands. I just stripped it from him, by the way. So there you go. Look at that. Injury, pain, rehab. And he retired. So now you draft, a kid that's got a lot of talent, but he's raw. You need to help him. What did San Fran do? Oh, we got a 7th round pick. Okay, no. Let's go get a running back. Let's surround him with everything possible. Let's make Brock Purdy's life easy. Indianapolis, no, let's make our quarterbacks' lives a lot harder. If the guy's really injured and he's got to sit out those 4 weeks, Jonathan Taylor, that is, then I understand it. But at the same time, you got to have Kareem Hunt. You got to do something for the kid. It's ridiculous. Just is. Let's see. Oh, that was a hell of a Canes Wear tour. Of course it was. That's the beauty of doing it inside like this. This is cool. I like it. No doubt. Do they have Ted the Tent Maker sized shirts there? Yeah, they've got some big shirts. Yes. Okay.
I got a shirt.
Yeah, Sean got a shirt from there. I get shirts. So yes, the multiple X's, they've got them. Okay. Yes. Go online, man. You'll see it there, and you get free shipping if you order over $99. So, and you'll go over 99 because you're gonna love so many things. I'm telling you, this place is just heaven, man. It's just heaven. There's so many cool things. Let's see. Andrew Luck approves your message. He should. Yeah, and that's right. Andrew Luck wasn't a small dude. He was built like a tree trunk. I don't get it. If the Colts accepted the trade, how come Greer was going to give Taylor what he wanted? No way, everything. Let me ask you, Ricardo, who are you believing? Who told you that they were going to give him everything? You know what I'm saying? Yes.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, the Dolphins made their offer. If they would have sent Jonathan Taylor for what Chris Greer offered them, then Chris Greer gives Jonathan Taylor the money. They're not giving him the money off of what we just read Irsay and them wanted. I mean, that was not Chris Greer. Was not like, just pick players and we'll just add them to the deal and then we'll bring Jonathan Taylor over and do there. So you gotta kind of condense it and understand what O's been saying about Chris Greer and the low-hanging fruit. If he got it for the low-hanging fruit, then he pays Jonathan Taylor.
Right, exactly. It can't be both. I that's what I keep trying to tell people. He wasn't going to trade high picks and pay Jonathan Taylor. Not going to do that. And that's funny that they would ask for Waddle. Receivers are 10 times more valuable than running backs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's just ridiculous. Do they sell caps with built-in Tejas? No, you got to have my Tejas. No, if you don't have my Tejas, you don't get it. So it's got to be you can buy any hat, but you're going to have to grow your Tejas. That's the way it goes, Willie. Tejas are not included. Regarding Miami versus the Chargers, remember Reynaldo Hill has the inside info on Herbert and the Chargers from the game they played Miami last year. Not sure Chargers will have the same success against Tua this year. I know they won't have the same success. I can guarantee you they won't have the same success. They will adjust to all of that. Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck have made that whole Colts franchise respectable. That's what it should be, especially with Irsay. Yeah. I mean, Irsay's a joke, you know. I honestly can't believe the Dolphins were willing to give draft picks away to a player that was injured. Yeah, but I'm sure it wasn't big picks. I'm sure they were mid-round, third, fourth round. There was no first or second round involved. Don't let anybody tell you that there was a first or second round involved, because there was never a first or second round involved. Okay? At all. And by the way, by them asking for Waddle, then clearly there were no real negotiations going on. Seriously. I mean, once you ask for Waddle, you got to like hang up and look at everybody else in the war room and say, "Hey guys, this is not going anywhere. Come on, bro. This guy wants Waddle. We're out of here. I mean, give me a break,
Greer should have called him back and said, "Listen, if you take Tyreek too, we'll do it right now."
Oh man. So love the Inter Miami soccer balls at Canes, where I bought one a few weeks ago. Yes, sir. I have one in my studio. Let's see. They should do a Scooby-Doo episode where they remove the Ursay mask and it's Cronin. It's Andrew Luck. Oh man. That's funny. Appreciate all of you out there. Let's go through our 3A Graphics sports calendar. Call my guy Alan Blanco if your company, your business, maybe your softball team, you're looking for custom printing and embroidery. Call my guys at 3A Graphics. Let's go through the sports calendar. And by the way, if you want to call them, 786-251-3404. That's 786-251-3404. They're in Hialeah, custom printing and embroidery. Last night, the Marlins fell to 500 as they got walloped by the Rays 11-2. Sandy with another weak-ass outing, 7 hits, 4 earned runs as he runs out of gas on the back end of his outing, and his ERA goes up to 4.23. Jazz did hit his 13th home run, so there was at least a little positive, but unfortunately, Sandy has been a mediocre pitcher this year. Okay? He cannot consistently put together good outing after good outing after good outing. It's a shame. He had it going for a while, and then the wheels fell off, and I'm sorry, but that's not good enough. And especially if you're Sandy, you got to do a lot better, dude. This has been a terrible year for him. I hope he can get back on track next year. Rays, by the way, and Marlins will continue their set tonight at 6:40. Not that anybody gives a crap, to be quite honest, because really, what are you going to be watching? You're going to be watching the Marlins, you're going to be watching Inter Miami. You're going to be watching Inter Miami. But anyway, Zach Elfin, who's 13-8 and a 3.55 ERA, taking on Jesus Luzardo, who is 9-8 and a 3.77 ERA. And that and he hasn't had a great second half either, by the way. And then tonight at Drive Pink Stadium, Messi and Inter Miami are back in action, and they host Nashville. It will not be easy. Nashville is very good. But I will say this. Nashville is the team I like to beat the most. Do you know why I like to see Miami beat Nashville as much as possible? The coach for Nashville simply hates Miami, and he cannot stand losing against Miami. Do you want to hear his analysis of the last loss against them? Well, they only won because they have that guy. Really? Wow, that's a great breakdown, dude. Yeah, way to go. Yeah, no, we didn't think Messi would make a difference. Of course not. Yeah, no, of course. Yeah, no, they only win because they have that guy. Well, why do you think they got him, bro? You know? Well, they only won because they had that Michael Jordan guy. They only won because, they had that Magic Johnson guy. They only won because they had that Tim Duncan guy. They only won because they had that Tom Brady guy. I could just go and play that game. They only won because they had that Pat Mahomes guy. That's kind of the reason why you get that guy. And one time they lost to him when we were over working with them a couple years back, and he was so pissed. Well, they really wouldn't make the playoffs if it wasn't because there were extra. You remember that? The extra stipulations of the extra teams, and that's the only reason why, and this and that. And it was just like he finds anything after the game to take any credit away from anything Miami does. And so tonight, this is why I want to warn you ahead of time. Okay. I want you, if Miami wins, which I hope they do, okay, if they beat Nashville tonight, I want you to search for that, wait for the post-game press conferences and listen to the Nashville coach, okay? Because he will give no credit to Miami, and he will come up with a different excuse or reasoning on why they lost and the only reason why Miami won, and it'll be something like the last time.
I can hear it right now. The only reason they won is they still have that guy.
They still have that guy. Well, it was that guy again. If we could get past that guy, ask Pat Riley in the 90s if he wanted to get past that guy called Michael Jordan, because he had a pretty damn good team too. And so did the Cavs, and so did the Knicks, and so did the Utah Jazz. And all of them said, hey, can you get rid of that guy in the league? Because he's getting in our way. So just watch it tonight, because I'm telling you, the guy is classic. You can tell, even by the look on his face, how much he despises losing to Miami. They're both the same expansion years, too. So it seems like some kind of real rivalry for him. Not for us, but for him for sure. It's a rivalry. There must be. I would love to hear him approach game week of Miami all week long with his players compared to other games. I got to tell you, I bet there's some extra sauce in his talk during the week. That's all I can tell you. Jamie says, Big O, that's what happens with good soccer teams. Good players are taken at dinner points for the national teams. I heard some complaints from fans since I was a kid. Sorry, I'd rather watch the Marlins. They're playing the worst baseball in the league, and I want to watch them lose again just so I can sleep knowing that the Marlins are the best team in Major League Baseball. You're a twisted man, Steven. How do you not watch what's the magic that is going on in Fort Lauderdale with Messi and Inter? You got to watch that, dude. That is just, it's magical, dude. That last goal, those 4 passes to end up in the goal. I don't know if we'll ever witness anything like that again. I know what you're
Watching
saying.
these guys play, I don't
say.
know. I think you will.
I know what you're saying.
They are
hard to argue with that too.
Not only that, but they're making everybody around them that
way
much
better.
The problem with
even when they were on the bench last week,
yes,
they were a better team.
Yeah, to me, the problem with Inter Miami has always been they're like a touch late on a pass.
Oh, always.
And
yes.
or they miss the guy with just the barely. And now you're seeing
and the confidence.
Yeah, well, I think that's where the confidence started just going like, oh, we're never going to be able to do this. And now it's like everything they do is like, okay, we got this.
Right. Now Taylor is like Taylor and Campana are like walking around like we're ready to explode on you, dude. It's a lot of fun, man.
The dog wearing the Canes jersey threw me off.
Oh, dog wearing a Canes jersey. I love it. I love it. There you go. There you go.
What was the year they started off 9-0?
9-0. You talk about the Mark Richt year. Yes, that's right. Oh, you adopt. Oh, there you go. Adoption too. I love hearing that. We got 4 adoptees at home, so I'm a big dog guy. There you go. Love it. Love it. Love it. So that's awesome. We got a doggy with a UM jersey on. What's your favorite Messi goal? No, so far, Troy, the last goal was my favorite goal. Obviously, the one from 30 yards out, the strike to the left corner, 20 or 25 yards out. That was a more impressive goal. But the reason why I love the last goal in that last game, it's the 3 passes before it. Exactly. The build up to, because the goal that Messi scored was a elementary goal. Anybody
I could have hit that, maybe.
Yeah, anybody would have scored that goal. But
maybe not Campagna. Sometimes he's
yeah. But the 3 passes before that, oh my God, dude. Especially the Alba pass. Jesus Christ, man. The Alba pass was crazy. What?
You know what it kind of reminds me of is when we used to, the games when we would watch, and Whitty and Ron were on the call, and we would look at the pitch. Not me, because I don't know soccer like that, but you guys would all point out different things of, oh, watch that guy, watch the run, and then it never transpired.
Right.
Now it seems like those are actually transpiring now, and you're seeing a whole different team.
Yeah, there's talent on the field, man. It just was a team that lacked talent, and they had no midfield play. The passing was terrible, dude. Terrible. It's been like that for years, and now the passing is exceptional. So it is. It's fantastic. Poetry in motion. Oh, it's crazy when you have Messi passing the ball. Don't need that touch, Sean, cause the ball will be there at your feet. It's amazing. Yes. Yep. Big O, cop me a Dolphin shirt and a Canes bag, Big O. We got them here for you, Irving. You can go online at caneswear.com. And one of the things that they do here at Caneswear, they do many things. But when you go online and you order, brother, there's a good chance it's bag tagged and shipped on the same day. I'm serious.
You can tell when an order comes through, right? Because Jeff's running around.
Yeah. Right. You see Jeff running around. Yes, exactly. Although Jeff probably doesn't have to run around as much because he had a separate stock place. And so he had to go to another place to go get extra goods. Now it's all together in one big, giant store, because they got a stock room now back there that is just, to the gills, dude, loaded. Yeah, it's as big as a store. Really, it is. That's how giant this space is. But man, it has got anything and everything, dude. Seriously, you should check it out. You should check it out. Messi has a knack for playmaking. Yes, he does. Playmaking, scoring, he's amazing. Inter Miami could be the biggest sports story of the year. Is there another team to excel this fast? No, there's nobody, Scott, right now. And Inter Miami is the biggest sports story in the country. And then you have eyes all over the world watching Inter Miami right now. There are more eyes watching Inter Miami than any team in South Florida right now. We know to South Florida, the Dolphins and the Canes and the Heat are king. We know that. We understand that. But the Messi impact has changed everything because that guy's fame is at completely another level. It's all over the planet. There's people sitting in Indonesia trying to find out what Messi's doing in Miami. And you're like, those people wouldn't care about Inter Miami if it wasn't for Messi. It's crazy. It really is. And to see on the road, like you saw that in the last game in New York, how they were packed outside the hotel and trying to, I saw them interview. We can't afford the tickets, so we thought we'd come out here so we can at least see the man out here at the hotel. Think about that. We can't afford the tickets, so this is our only way to come see the greatest soccer player of all time. That's pretty awesome. So, yeah, this is as impressive as it gets. Oh, by the way, send Matt a link for noon because I forgot. We settled the time when I was driving. What else do we have? And again, Matt Verderam will join us at the top of the hour. We will talk to Joe Shad later on today. Practice is like at 2 in the afternoon or something like that. So he's going to get the coach and the players and all that, and then we'll talk after all of that. So that way we have something really fresh for you on the platform later on. So when I get home late in the afternoon, I'll do the interview with Joe Shad, and we'll get the latest from Dolphins camp and practice and everything else that went on as they get ready for the Los Angeles Chargers, because it's not game week per se, but game preparation has already started, I'm sure. Overall. So we'll get into all of that with Joe Shad this afternoon. So just like the Cam one, probably early evening by 6:30, 7:00, something should be dropping on the platform. The other one, of course, and you'll get that interview with Joe Shad. So make sure you hit the notification bell on this channel and on the other channel. That way, you know when something new hits. Don't forget, please hit the hell out of the like button. You guys hit 400 likes yesterday. All right, 300 the day before, 200 the day before that. So it's kind of like been building up and building up and building up. You know what I'm saying? And now we're solid as a rock. So hit it, baby. Hit that notification bell. Hit that like. It's 153 right now. There's 111. There's a bunch of you that haven't hit it. Come on, baby. Hit it. Let's go, please. Look at wow, it jumped to 158. Did you see that? It just jumped all the way to one. Oh, no, that's watching. I'm sorry. That's why that was watching movie. I'm sorry. 117. I was going, whoa. I looked at the wrong one. I was going, wow. Wow, you guys responded with a quickness. So hit it, baby. 158 is watching, 117 the likes. Let's go. Let's go. If everybody hit it right now, we'd go over 158 in the likes. If everyone that's right now watching hits it and sends the algorithm shooting everywhere, and I'm sure people now are it's a lot easier for them to find Big O Radio Show Live. It comes out now a lot easier. By the way, where are we in hours? We had 1,900 yesterday. 2.9 what? 2,900? It went up 1,000? Wow, we're gonna get the 4,000 hours before the 1,000 subscribers. We went up to 2,900 hours. It was at 1,900 yesterday. It went up 1,000 hours yesterday in 24 hours. You guys are awesome. Keep watching. Keep watching. We'll tell you when we cross the 4. So, but appreciate all of you. When you get extra time, watch. Like, you don't even have to watch it. Just hit play and walk around the house and business, office, whatever, and let it go and let it play. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. That's amazing. Jesus. Thank you. I'm flattered. Really am. Appreciate all of you out there. That is very nice. What else do we have? You see Joe Burrow still not practicing? 33 days since the calf injury. I did not realize it was that long since Joe Burrow injured that calf. And he's still not ready. They don't know if he'll be ready for week 1 yet. Okay.
Why'd they only keep one other quarterback then?
Dude, it's just this thing now with 2 quarterbacks. Hell, the Patriots kept 1.
Yeah, well, that's Belichick, whatever. I mean, that's
what's going on in that place.
Let's get Matt Patricia to run the offense. Okay. But they got the rule this year where the third quarterback doesn't affect your 53. So technically, I guess you can have 54 if you want to look at it that way.
Right.
Why not take, I mean, I get it. If the guy's terrible, then yeah, you don't keep him there just to have somebody there. But
it must be that they're terrible because they're not willing to keep anybody, man. I mean, the Patriots got rid of Zappy.
Yeah. There's no quarterback controversy this year, right?
And the fans wanted Zappy like crazy, and media was talking about Zappy, and he's not even in the league now. It's kind of that Belichick stuff, bro. Minus Brady, it makes him just look pretty bad, dude. Pretty bad. By the way, you guys got the likes up to 136. I like it. Okay. There's 156 watching. So some of you have looked at me and Sean said, nah, I'm not hitting the like button. I refuse to like you, oh. Refuse. So, what can I tell you? I was hoping that you'd like us, but, what can I say? You don't want to be a team player and help us out. Oh, I just read that YT changed from 4,000 to 3,000 watch hours did it? You want to check that out? For monetization, it went from 4,000 to 3,000?
It's complicated.
It's 4,000. Okay. It's 4,000, the one we need. We need to hit 4,000, Pat. Okay?
Once we hit it, they'll tell us anyways. That's why I'm watching anyways.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it
yeah.
says 4K on ours.
Yeah.
I think there's different levels or something with YouTube channels,
Right.
depending on what you're doing. So that's
Yeah,
why
keep going at it. We need to hit 4K. 4K is the one that we need because that's when we can get to full monetization, super chat, and everything else, and all that kind of stuff. So really appreciate what you guys are doing. Is just amazing, sick. Okay, seriously, it's almost 2,000 watched hours in the last couple of days. That is awesome, and we're not some big platform or anything like that. So I appreciate all of you out there. That is just absolutely sick. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Just keep going. Keep going. Rock it out as much as possible. Maybe we get to it by tomorrow. That'd be like really cool that by tomorrow afternoon when we, go live at Hialeah Park, we've hit the 4K on the new channel. That'll be pretty beastly. Okay? So watch as much as you can and watch different shows, watch the wrestling show. These guys were on yesterday again for a couple of hours, so check it out, please. Thank you all out there, man. What else do we have going on in the world? How about birthdays and music history? Let's do a little bit of that. We love doing that. Let's talk a little bit about musica history and what happened today in music history. Let me get to the page. Oh, wait a minute. That's right. I'm not on the internet on this one. That's what it is. Since we are inside here, I have to re-sign. And okay. All right. Let me see here, folks. I'm sorry for the delay, but I did not realize I didn't put the iPad on online. So now I am online and I can actually get to it. Okay, beautiful thing. There we go. Okay. Now we got it. Today, let's go in music history. We start off with Bob Dylan in 1965 on this date released his all-electric album Highway 61 Revisited. In 73 on this date, the Doors finally broke up 2 years after the death of Jim Morrison and after the release of 2 unsuccessful albums. Yeah, you can't do music without Jim Morrison. It doesn't fly. In 95 in Martha's Vineyards, Massachusetts, James Taylor shared a stage with ex-wife Carly Simon for the first time in 16 years. In 92 on this date, Nirvana played what would be their last ever concert in the UK when they headlined England's Reading Festival. The performance later came out as the 2009 live album and DVD Live in Reading. In 86 on this date, Steve Winwood had the number 1 song with Higher Love. In 88 on this date, Bruce Springsteen's wife, Julianne, filed for divorce after newspapers printed photos of the boss getting romantic with his bandmate, Patty Skyfa. I think they ended up getting married, right? Isn't him and Patty, aren't they still married or something like that? Forgot. Check out Bruce Springsteen's marriage. Bruce Springsteen. Is he still married to Patty Skyfa, or maybe they're divorced? I'm not sure now. In 94, Oasis released their debut album, Definitely Maybe, hell of an album. In 2004, on this date, MTV Video Music Awards, Jet won the Moon for the Best Rock Video of the Year with Are You Gonna Be My Girl? And, they're still married? Yeah, married since 91. Okay. All right. So he left her for somebody else that he stayed with. I guess he found somebody that he had more in common with. Huh? Yeah, he's still with her. Cameron Diaz celebrating a birthday today. She is 51. Trevor Jackson, TV actor, is 27. Rapper Boogie is 34. I have no idea who that guy is. Let's see. Warren Buffett is 93 years old today. A lot of TikTok and YouTube stars, man. It's amazing how many, and I know none of them. Let's see. Michael Michelle, movie actress, is 57. Ted Williams, who's no longer with us, but was born on this date in 1918, lost him in 2002. Dwayne Bacon, basketball player, is 28. Michael Grant Terry, TV actor, is 39. Kind of a light list of birthdays today. What else do we have going on in the world of sports? Oh, what else do we have? Big O now has a live show channel to go with his other main channel. Nice. Yes. Yes. Remember, on this live channel will be the live shows. This show, the wrestling show, and we're bringing the crypto show back. Who? No, October 1st is my birthday. Yeah, I just did birthdays. You didn't hear? I just did the birthdays. Warren Buffett was 93. It's just it was just kind of, yeah, I did one after the other, but it was such a uninspiring birthday list today. It just wasn't an impressive list. Outside of really Warren Buffett, there wasn't really a lot of people, you know? And Warren's finally come around to Bitcoin because, he's still not completely in, but, because he's so stuck with fiat and he's been a genius with that. But everything else, you know? So, let's see. What else do we have here? Yes, sure. Okay. How we doing, by the way, in crypto? Because yesterday it went from 26 to 28,000 Bitcoin. Now back down to 27, but it is up from yesterday. And I think it's because of the grayscale case winning against the SEC. And if this is a sign of things to come, then it's going to get here a lot faster, baby. A lot faster. Let's see. Big O, do you mind if we like Sean even better than you? Not at all. Most people do. Everybody loves Sean. Give me a break, dude. Come on. How do you not love Sean? He's a great dude. Let's see. Can't wait for Tua to outplay Herbert in week 1. Me too. Me too. Can't wait to watch Herbert choke next Sunday. That's what I'm looking for. Irvin says, love the Doors. When I was a kid, my mom was a huge Jim Morrison Doors fan, especially as a kid. Yep. And she was saying, love me 2 times. I'm gone away. Irvin says his birthday is September 10th. Well, make sure you remind us, because by the 10th, by tomorrow, I'll forget it, Irvin. Okay? Big O and Sean are YouTube stars. No, Sean's the YouTube star. I just ride his coattails. That's what I do. I ride Sean's coattails. Oh, no disrespect to Bob Dylan, but did you see him as a musical visionary? I just hear a lot of mumbling in his songs. Troy, as a lyricist, he's fantastic. I don't like his voice either. Well, I'm not a big fan of. I've never been much of a Dylan guy myself. You know what I mean? But hey, man, it's kind of beauty's in the eye of the beholder. You know, and there are some bands. You know, some people may not like Devo, may not like the B-52s because they're kind of awkward. May not like Kraftwerk. I love them all. You know what I mean? And Bob Dylan is one of those guys that I understand his talent, but I don't necessarily like his voice. So, that's kind of the way I actually like his son's band more, the Wallflowers, because I actually like his son's voice a lot better than his dad's voice. So, yeah, I'm not a big fan of Bob Dylan. Yeah, it's just Yeah. Dylan is about songwriting. Exactly, no doubt. Yes, it's his lyrics are fantastic. The voice is just something I personally could never really get into. Hey, I'll give you another one. Elvis Costello. I love Elvis Costello. I run into a lot of people that can't get into Elvis Costello because of his voice. So, to each his own, man. That's just kind. I can't listen to Little Wayne. I can't stand that voice. Little Wayne's voice is as wimpy as it gets, bro. I'm a Chuck D, LL Cool J, Biggie, Snoop. You know what I mean? Kendrick Lamar. People that Lupe Fiasco. That to me, those are Ice Cube, Ice T. I listen to Little Wayne, and I cringe, bro. I cringe hearing that little wimpy voice rap. So, and people can swear and love by Little Wayne. To each his own, man. Everybody has a different way of looking at music. You know what I'm saying? And it's just kind of the way it is. When people have distinctive voices, you're going to have people that are going to like them, and then you're going to have people that don't like them. And I'm not a Bob Dylan or a Little Wayne guy. I don't like their voices. That's all. You know? Nothing. That doesn't mean I'm right. That doesn't mean that I've discovered that those people aren't artists or something. No, it's just not my style. That's all. Yes, sir. Oh, you got the mic?
Yeah, no, my fault. I just thought the conversation was ludicrous.
There you go.
Thank you for loving me, everyone.
DMX, I love. I love DMX. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, his crazy ass. But his voice, oh, God, his voice is killer, bro. So it's just we're all different, man. We're all different. My buddy sings Dylan's songs at karaoke. I ask why. He says, because Dylan can't sing and neither can I. LOL. And there you go. It's kind of a sound. Sometimes singers, they don't sing. David Lee Roth had a sound. He wasn't a singer. Kevin Dubrow from Quiet Riot wasn't really a great singer, had a sound. Bob Dylan isn't a great singer, has a sound. Sometimes, some lead singers aren't necessarily singers. They have a sound. And I would say Bob Dylan and David Lee Roth are perfect examples of guys that really aren't singers. Mike Reno can sing. Bruno Mars can sing. Bono can sing. Some guys have a sound, and that's kind of the difference. Devo. When you listen to Devo singing, or maybe even the B-52s, that's a sound. Oh, except the girls. The girls in the B-52s, they've got pipes. But like, I don't know. You know what? Maybe he does have kind of a voice a little bit. not like Dylan and David Lee Roth, but it's just kind of like that. And then we gravitate to it, even though it may not be a great voice, but it's a sound that goes well with the music. That's all. All right, let's do it. Hour number 3 is next, and Matt Verderam from Sports Illustrated joins us. So here we are. I wanted to show you the backyard again because we had some trouble last time, but CuttersEdgePro.com does some amazing stuff, and there are the boys and the girl. They're having fun. There we go. Right, Maiden? Right, Bono? There we go. They're having fun. I'm having fun. Look at our Sylvester palm. It is beautiful. We got another one in the front yard like that. You can take your home and landscaping to the next level. And the artificial turf, look at that. Look at that. The two dinosaurs going at it, huh? Look at that. Gotta love the dinosaurs. Look at them. They like to bite each other's legs. That's what they do. They play with each other, and then they bite each other, and they piss each other off. It's fun. One is Bono, which is the one farther away from you, and Maiden. She's the girl right here. She's a badass. That's for sure. So anyway, see the flowers are coming out. Very nice. CuttersEdgePro.com, folks. This big tree there will start budding that I'm showing you there soon. It'll have all kinds of flowers. I'll post another video and I'll show it to you. This is a backyard where everybody gets to hang out. Over there in the corner there, I put the barbecue and cook. So that way it's the farthest away from the house, If I light myself on fire or somebody else, we're out in the corner away from everybody. There you go. So you can get some flowers coming out, which is a beautiful thing. And I swear by this artificial turf, it always looks phenomenal. I don't have to cut it. I don't have to water it. And so I'm saving a lot of money, hundreds and thousands in the long run, because I'm not watering or, of course, cutting the grass. And here in South Florida, we cut the grass like every 10 to 14 days.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Like that. And Les Claypool's another one. I saw him at Red Rocks, Les Claypool, and he can't sing either. You don't go see Les Claypool you go see him for his bass, not for his voice. And even in Red Rocks, he couldn't sing. It didn't matter. Anyway, let's get to it. Let's talk a little sports. Yes, sir. Although, did you go with any of the music talk that I just went over? How there are some singers that have a sound. They really don't sing.
Well, I mean, I'm from the Northeast. Like Bruce Springsteen is the epitome of that, isn't he?
No, he can sing, bro.
I feel like Bruce Springsteen just screams in the microphone.
No. He can sing, bro. He can sing. No. He can sing.
I always felt like that about him. I always felt like now the guy I'm going to say can sing, but it's a very different sound. It's like Geddy Lee with Rush.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's
Right?
he's
Like Geddy Lee.
It's
is
like a permanent.
really
It's like a permanent falsetto that he's in.
if you hear if you know Rush and you hear a song, you know immediately it's Rush.
Of course.
Like they're so unique in the way that they played music. So I think they're an example of that. But yeah, there's definitely bands you listen to, at least I listen to, that aren't necessarily like classically great vocalists, but they're great at what they do.
Yes, no, I'm with you there. All right, so what'd you think of the whole Jonathan Taylor fiasco? I never had this thing happening because I never thought there was ever a. I just think Chris Greer he's a shyster. Okay,
I mean,
he doesn't offer anything significant. He'll steal Jalen Ramsey from your ass for a third rounder. My brother, if you go back and look at the Tunsil and the San Francisco 49er trades, those are two of the greatest trades in the last 23 years in the NFL. Okay.
Can't argue it.
The amount of players they got in the last trade with San Francisco that they went and got their quarterback for the 3 first rounders, they ended up getting Waddle, Chubb, Ramsey for the trade.
Correct.
Like that,
no, I agree with you.
That's stupid. Okay. That's ridiculous. And he did the same thing for the Tunsil trade. He got a whole bunch of players are on this team for the Tunsil trade. And then Christian Wilkins, bro, he's giving you everything. And then he wants money, but then you turn to him and say, but bro, you haven't given us sacks. And you're not ready to give him the money. And it's like, that's a hard line, bro, to draw right there. You know what I'm saying? This guy, I don't think people realize, they think Mike Tannenbaum is still in charge, that he's Oprah and you get a pick and you get a pick and you get millions and you get millions and we're just going to give things away. That's not the way these guys are anymore. They're pretty smart when it comes to their wheeling and dealing.
They are. These aren't the days in Miami of Donnell Ellerbe and Mike Wallace getting just contracts that no one could understand the second they were signed. Look.
Wow, that's good. That was good. Really good.
That's right. I'd bring the heat. The Jonathan Taylor stuff, we talked about that the last couple of weeks. Like not just about the Dolphins, but in general. Look, no team was doing this. And the one thing that I can't stand in our business, it drives me crazy, is when somebody is throwing something out there just to push a narrative that they know is false, but they're doing somebody of theirs a favor. This idea that the Colts had multiple good offers is insane. If they had one good offer, they would have done it. Like they didn't have an offer, not an offer that they were looking for. Now, there was some report out there earlier today. And I honestly don't know who put it out there, so forgive me for that. But I saw it as I was scrolling that they wanted Jalen Waddle.
Oh yeah, that was Stephen Holder, and I trust him.
I trust him. In fact, Steven's one of my best friends in the business.
Yeah, I've known Steven for 20 years. So
Steven's the best, and he's also he lived in Miami for years, so he's in both areas. If Steven said it, it's fact. That's crazy. There's no world where the Dolphins are giving up a top 15 receiver in the league on a rookie deal for a running back who they've got to pay market value to and give up a pick. Now, maybe in that scenario, they're not giving up a pick. I would hope not.
Right.
We talked about this already. There is no world any team was giving the Colts a top 50 pick and then paying Jonathan Taylor what he wanted to be paid. No, there was nobody who was going to give Dalvin Cook money. Austin Eckler can't get an extension. Saquon Barkley can't get a new deal. Josh Jacobs can't get a new deal. Jonathan Taylor was not getting a deal after a team gave up a premium pick. So now we're going to move forward. He's on the PUP list. The next time he can get traded is right before the Halloween trade deadline. And guess what? Nobody's going to give it to them either. No one's doing this. He's going to be in Indianapolis.
Yeah. And the worst thing you did was screw your young quarterback. And they're really good in Indianapolis. 100%. They couldn't build a line for Luck, and he took a beating for hell. And now you brought in a young quarterback, and you irresponsibly are not going to put his best offensive weapon next to him for the first month of the season. I mean, the king size of stupidity that is coming out of that organization is just it's
Ursay
mind-boggling.
Ursay talks when he doesn't have to. And owners in the NFL, by and large, should cut the checks and get out of it. Like, you're there to make money. It's an investment. And look, there are some guys who really want to win, and that's great. I think it's great for the sport. It's great for their fans. You can want to win and not be involved. The Maras, the Rooneys. You never hear from the Rooneys, ever.
No.
You never heard from Art Rooney or anything, like, ever. Nope. You don't hear from the Mara family. You don't hear from the Hunt family. You don't hear from Stan Kroenke, who spends billions of dollars. Like, you hear from Jerry Jones, who hasn't won a Super Bowl ever without Jimmy Johnson or the team that Jimmy Johnson built. Okay. You heard a lot about, anyway, maybe not from, but about Dan Snyder, who was obviously a disaster. You hear a lot about the Davis ownership in Vegas, which has not gone great. You don't want to hear from your owner all the time.
Right.
You want your owner to spend money, delegate the responsibilities to people who know better, and get the hell out of the way. Ursay doesn't do that. He gets involved. It really ticked off Jonathan Taylor. And so now here we are.
Yeah. It is mind-boggling to me how stupid you would handle this and then mishandle your young quarterback, because that kid really needed Jonathan Taylor. It is going to be that much harder for him now to get through the first month of the season. Yeah. All right. Now go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, yeah. I mean, absolutely. Without Taylor, what is that offense? It's Michael Pittman and it's Anthony Richardson running for his life. I mean, that's what it is. I like Evan Hull, their rookie running back at Northwestern. He's not Jonathan Taylor. It's going to be rough. I picked them to be the worst team in the AFC before this thing with Jonathan Taylor. I certainly believe that now.
New England, can you figure out what's going on? Like, so you cut Bailey Zappi and you only have one quarterback on the roster. And, the farther we get from the Tom Brady era, the dumber Bill Belichick seems to look. Okay. And I get it. He's going to go down as the great one and all the championships. But, brother, your look post Brady has looked so dysfunctional. I mean, you're about to start the season. You have one quarterback on the roster. That's asinine, dude. That's crazy.
It's very bizarre. And I've seen people say, well, they did it because they've got another move coming. Okay, great. Then keep Bailey Zappi on the roster until you make that move and then release him. Like, what? And then there's all this stuff about, well, they want him back on the practice squad. You need a backup quarterback. Yes. I don't understand. Like, why wouldn't you then just make that move and then release Zappi and try to re-sign him to the practice squad? Right? I wrote a long time, years ago, like while the Patriots were still who they were, I wrote a piece when I was at Fansided. Like, the Pats' biggest problem is that Belichick's the GM of the team. And he shouldn't be the GM of the team. He should be the coach of the team.
Yes.
And a lot of Patriots fans were furious about that. I was like, look, he's an amazing coach, which I believe that he is. Defensively, I don't think you can count on maybe one hand, and maybe you don't even need any fingers to count the coaches that are better defensive coaches in the history of the NFL. He is one of one. He's not a general manager. No. Since he's been in charge of running their personnel department, that they have not drafted particularly well, but that was covered up forever because they had Brady. They don't have Brady anymore. And so now you have this situation where you look at them and go, okay, why? Like, why would you cut yourself down to one quarterback, the only team in the league that did it, by the way? And so now you're sitting here, and what? Is Carson Wentz coming in? Because I got to tell you, Carson Wentz and Bill Belichick might be the worst match in the history of mankind. I can't imagine Bill Belichick coaching Carson Wentz.
Yeah, no.
Not going to happen.
No.
So where is it going? It's very bizarre. I don't understand it. If you want a different backup, that's totally fine. Sure. But then just keep Zappi until you sign the backup and then get rid of him. Put him on the practice squad if you can. Fine. Very bizarre. Very, very bizarre.
Well, when we go around the AFC East, I looked at the Jets' offensive line situation. It's really bad. The Patriots have some issues. Hell, they had to trade for a lineman now because they have so many issues. The Bills have a couple. Do you know that as much as Dolphins might be worried, they might end up having the best offensive line in the stinking division, which is really odd to say or even think?
I think it's going to be a fascinating division. And SI has been publishing our divisional previews throughout the course of the week. And for anyway, by the way, I actually have to have it right here. I'm not just trying to shill, but magazine's out. Go out, buy it. I did every AFC preview in this bad boy. So go check it out. Look, I think the Dolphins, if Tua is healthy, I think they're the best team in the division. And I think they're the best team in the division for a variety of reasons. First of all, I think they have the most talent. I think Fangio is the biggest upgrade any team made all year. The offensive line, I don't think it's going to be great, but I think it's going to be good enough. And the rest of the lines in that division, you don't know what you're getting out of New England. I know what I'm getting out of the Jets, and it's not great. And the Bills, I look at and say, okay, look, I like Morse and I like Dawkins. But other than that, like, I don't know. I mean, Spencer Brown's not a great right tackle. The guard play is a question mark, I think is fair to say. Like, and with Buffalo, I don't like for years on end, it's been, well, they have Allen and they have a really good defense. I don't know that they have a really good defense. Miller's on the PUP list. Hyde and Poyer are well over 30, coming off years where they were hurt. Tre'Davious White came back last year from his ACL. He did not look like the same player. Kyer Elam can't even get on the field. I mean, he's behind Christian Benford and Dane Jackson right now.
And I think they're one of the few teams in the NFL that has an active volcano wearing a jersey. And his name is Stephon Diggs.
No question.
I mean, last week in the preseason game, he got tackled in the open field and he went back to the sideline and slammed his helmet. And it's like, yo, bro, you're in a preseason game and you're losing your mind? I'm like, this is going to be a show from here on out. I think the Bills are going to kind of implode a little bit, bro.
I think they're a playoff team, but I don't think they're on the level of Kansas City or Cincinnati anymore. I don't. I think if they play either one of those two teams in a playoff game, they're going to get boat raced. That's how I feel going into the season. Now, maybe by the end of the season, I'll feel differently, but right now, that's how I feel. I look at them. They didn't replace Edmonds, and we've talked a little bit about this. The problem the Bills have had over the years, Miami's drafted really, really well, which is why they're set up the way they are. Okay, the Bengals have drafted really well. Jacksonville's drafted well. Kansas City, even after the Mahomes, has drafted very well. Guys like Bolton and Creed Humphrey. Problem in Buffalo is they haven't drafted well. I mean, he's just been pick after pick after pick after pick. Where you're like, either the guy's just average or he's flat out not cutting it. Their best picks in the last 4 years have been Dawson Knox and Gabe Davis. Knox is now splitting time with Dalton Kincaid, and Gabe Davis doesn't have a contract for next year. So it's a problem. And I just wonder with the Bills, I've always wondered with teams in general, when they lose a game, it's just devastating. Some teams come back from that stronger, more unified. It galvanizes them. We're never going to let it happen again. And some teams never really recover from it. I will always wonder until they prove otherwise if that 13 seconds game in Kansas City just kind of broke them. They should have won that game, hosted the AFC title game. Their roster's gone downhill since. It seems like there's more issues inside the building now than there were then. I just wonder if the pressure, the mounting pressure, has started to bust a few pipes in Buffalo.
Yeah, that's why I think there's going to be a little bit of an implosion there in Buffalo this year. I think some of their dysfunction is going to come out, and I think it's going to end up hurting them. That's why I think the Dolphins end up winning that division. Let me ask you something. If you're a week out and your quarterback's already missed 33 days with a calf injury, and calves can be kind of tricky,
yes,
how concerned should a Bengals fan be with Joe Burrow for week one?
Concerned, I wouldn't say wildly, in the sense that I think the Bengals know enough that you can't start him if he's 80% on a calf, because 80 could turn into 20 really fast. I mean,
or the year.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's it, right? I mean, it can be you're out for 2 months. You're out. Like, let's face it. Let's even say Burrow, if he re-injures that thing, he's out 4 to 6 weeks. Their season's over. Like that's it. In the AFC, then the NFC, maybe you could find some way that hey, you go 3-3 and you middle it. Okay. In the AFC, depending on what part of the schedule you're in, you're 1-5. Like, your season's done. I think the Bengals should feel confident in the sense that they cut Trevor Siemian. they only have Jake Browning and Burrow on the roster, which would tell you they think that Burrow is healthy and going to be able to play. But it's got to be a concern. I mean, we've seen with Aaron Rodgers. Now, Rodgers is a lot older.
Yeah.
But
I think that's
actually
I think that's a bigger concern than Burrow, actually, the Rodgers thing, because that line is so bad, and he has 2 calf issues because he just injured what they called his good calf, and he already had banged up his bad calf earlier before that. So for me, and Rodgers can't move around like he used to. If he's got to be on the run a lot, I would not be surprised to see some breakdown with Aaron Rodgers too.
You know how I feel. I mean, I'm not in on this love in with the Jets. I think the Jets are going to be fine. I think the Jets are going to fight for a playoff spot. I think they might even get a playoff spot, but I'm not. This idea that the Jets are just going to come out and be this dominant force, I have major reservations about all that happening. I mean, I don't trust the offensive line. Other than Garrett Wilson, who's the guy in that team you're scared of? Who's the guy? I mean, Alan Lazard's fine.
Breece Hall from the backfield, but outside of as receivers, you're right. There's only one guy you fear.
I watched McCole Hardman every snap of his career.
He's nice.
McCole Hardman's going to have 2 games where he plays and has a big stat line, and the rest of it, you're going to be like, oh, McCole Hardman did 2 catches for 17 yards. I mean, that's just the way it is.
He's a 4th receiver, bro. He's
a returner. That's it. I mean, so I look at the Jets, and everybody also talks. The other thing I find very interesting with the Jets, people talk about the defense like they're the 85 Bears. And it's like, Sauce Gardner's great. DJ Reed's a really good corner. Quinnen Williams is an excellent, excellent defensive tackle. Outside of that, I don't know. I mean, is there a great edge rush? I don't know. Is there great play on the second level? I don't know. Like, do I think they're a good defense? Yes, absolutely. Do I think they're going to be this dominant, like giving up 14 points a game defense? No. And the other thing I'd point out, and it's the same, by the way, this is also true in Denver. So people last year are like, man, Denver's defense, unbelievable. The Jets defense, if they had a quarterback, and look at the numbers they put up defensively, there's a push-pull to that. Part of the reason they're so great statistically on defense is because these other teams don't have to take any chances ever on offense because they know they're going to give up 10 points. I mean, if you're playing the Jets last year or the Broncos last year, you're not going to be aggressive offensively. Why the hell would you be? You'll play field position. You'll wait for Zach Wilson to throw a pick, and then you'll score a touchdown. Defensive numbers tend to move with how good your offense is, because if your offense is really good, your defense is going to give up some more points and some more yards. It's just a matter of whether it's because it's late in the game or because other teams go, look, we got to go full throttle the whole game. We're not going to have a shot to win. Nobody was doing that last year against Zach Wilson. So I think there's a push-pull to that people don't factor in.
Yeah. It's interesting. All right, so what happens with your boy Chris Jones, bro?
What happens with Chris Jones? That is the what is it now? $1.9 million question and counting. If the fines keep racking. I understood why he held out during training camp because, look, okay, fine, he can afford it, fair enough, and he's making a point. Maybe he doesn't want to be at camp. I think now he's to a juncture where he's really hurting himself with the leverage here. Like, if you're the Chiefs, this whole idea that he's going to miss games, if you're Kansas City, who cares? I mean, if he's going to sit out a couple of games, look, he's a great player. And without him, their defense is a major, major, major player short. I'm not saying they're not. But if that team plays as well as it can offensively, still going to beat the Lions. They're still going to beat the Bears and the Vikings and probably even Jacksonville and so he's threatened to sit out 7 games. Look at their schedule; those first 7 games. Without him, they're probably still 6-1, 5-2. Like they'll win. And my thing is, for next year, every game that he misses, it lowers his cap number for a franchise tag. Right. So the Chiefs just get him on a cheaper deal. It makes it much harder for him to ask for $28 to $30 million a year if his cap number next year would be 24. Why would the Chiefs give that to him? So I think if you're Jones, I get why he's angry, and in some ways I agree with him, but I do think that now if he starts missing regular season games, history says you're just hurting yourself. The teams don't really care because they know you're coming back at some point. So. Right. I think at this point, the leverage is starting to shift from it was kind of split. Now I think it becomes if Jones holds out, it's just really hurting him.
ugly situation. I wonder if he's trying to do a little Emmitt Smith
Right.
from years back, that Emmitt missed those first games and the Cowboys played like crap and then they panicked right away. And I wonder if he and his agent are like, let him play without you and then let's see what happens.
And
And be careful what you ask for, because there's an offensive league, and if they can somehow
that's
play
it.
decent defense and Mahomes can score the offense, then, it's not going to make you look nearly as good. Emmett, back in those days, it was a run-oriented
Yes.
type of
He was the
offense.
offense.
Right, whereas nowadays, offense is passing. So the question is, can Kansas City survive without him and at least be, decent defense without him? That's the question.
And I think if you look at their schedule, so they open with the Lions, who I think are a good team.
Pretty good offensively, too.
They are. But I also think, like, that's a game where the Chiefs, I could just see them winning like 35-30 or something. Like,
Yeah, they should win, but yeah.
Then they play Jacksonville. That's a tough game.
Mhm.
They could lose that game. It's on the road. Then they play the Bears at home. They're winning that game.
Yeah, yeah.
Jets.
As long as you can control Fields running.
Right. So, I mean, it's one of those things. My guess would be this. They will just score 35 points pretty much every game.
They have
and
to
find a way. And that's the risk. And I talked about this with some.
They have to play the Marino game of the 80s.
Yes.
Score a crap load of points and hope your defense can, limit them to 40 so you can get 42.
It's a big risk, because what happens if, like, nobody's going to care about the statistics of it all. They're going to care about the win-loss record. If he holds, let's say he holds out the first 3 weeks of the year, they're going to be favored to beat the Lions, Jags, and Bears even without him. Like, what if they win all 3 of those games? Even if they give up 28 points a game, they're not going to care as long as they're winning. And then what leverage do you have? Then it's like, well, they didn't need me to win. I still think it makes sense to sign the deal now, because, frankly, when is he going to be worth more? He's going to be 30 next year. He's coming off a top 3 year in terms of Defensive Player of the Year voting. First team All-Pro, and they won the Super Bowl. The odds that you're going to have all that going for you at any point going forward is slim. I mean, everything lined up for you, both team and player-wise. I just think that it's a huge gamble to play this year out without a contract. And then what? I mean, they're going to tag him. So then it becomes like, okay, now you got to get off the tag. It's ugly. It's gotten really ugly.
Follow him on Twitter at Matt Verderam. Catch his exceptional work there at Sports Illustrated. Matt, as always, thank you for taking some time, my brother. We'll catch up next week. Have a great weekend.
Sounds good. Take care, guys.
Thank you, my brother. There you go. Matt Verderam from Sports Illustrated. Love it. Love it. All right. By the way, don't forget, folks, Perdomo Cigar is a proud sponsor of our program, and their retail store at 5150 Northwest 167th Street, right off of the Palmetto there in Miami Gardens. They've got a huge humidor there. You can walk in there and pick any cigar you want, the 10th anniversary, the 20th anniversary, the Lot 23, the Immenso 70, the Estate Selección, the Double Age 12-year vintage. Check it out, man. They've got so many great cigars, and they got a beautiful lounge. It's got like a 30-foot leather couch, I swear to you. Big TV, pool table, and Nick Perdomo might be hanging around, so you just never know. I can't give the Marlins last night a victory cigar. Hopefully tonight we could give them a victory cigar tomorrow, or we'll give Messi and the boys a victory. You know what I can give a victory cigar to? I'm going to give a victory cigar to Chris Greer for not getting suckered like some of you out there who wanted to overpay for a running back. He did not overpay for a running back. So Chris Greer gets our Perdomo cigar. He gets the championship cigar. There you go. That's a game winner right there. Yep, Calendar and Kromoski called up, yes. So annoying hearing Jets championship defense when you can argue they're actually on par, maybe just a little bit better than Miami. I mean, in the Quinn and Williams part, they're better. I'm not going to go everywhere else better, to be quite honest. I think Miami has better pass rushers and a better secondary. overall. That's the way I would look at it. But hey, it is what it is. Dolphins need to go out there and ball, baby. That's all. It's pretty simple. Just go out there and ball. We thank, of course, Matt Verderam. We thank Safid Dean. We thank Brett, Jeff, all the great people out here that make it nice and easy for us to broadcast here at Canesware. Remember, 2655 South University Drive here in Davie. You can go online at canesware.com. If you order over $99, you will get free shipping. So go online and check it out, canesware.com. We thank, of course, the man, the myth, the legend that is Sean Stanley, the man that masters this entire platform and hosts the Square Circle Digest every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. So make sure you catch that. Catch him and Frankie Fresco doing their thing, talking a little wrestling like they did last night. And if you missed it, it's right here on the channel. Remember, we need hours viewed. We got to get to 4,000. So view as much as you can. View the Square. Go to the Square Circle Digest. Let it run. Even if you can't watch it, go walk around the house, walk around the business. Let it run. Help us get to the 4,000 viewed hours on this channel there. Anyway, on the original Big O radio show channel this afternoon, Joe Shad and myself will break everything down that went on in camp and in the locker rooms and with the coach. We'll have all the latest there dropping later on this afternoon or early evening. We shall see you tomorrow afternoon from Hialeah Park. We'll be out there like we always are every Thursday at 3 o'clock, rocking and rolling. You all have a fantastic day. See you same place, same time, same bat channel. Have a good one.
This is the Big O Show.